do stick to KTN. Let's move on. And an Nakuru court has ruled that an application by the family of missing fisherman Brian Odhiambo for a public inquest is merited, dismissing opposition by the Director of Public Prosecution that the family had not followed the right procedure. Principal Magistrate Vincent Okello noted that the application was done by different parties other than those who had filed for a habeas corpus case that is pending before the Court of Appeal. The court has further directed that the DCI concludes the investigations within the next 30 days and involve the family in the process, which has been shrouded with secrecy on the part of the DCI. Let's cross over to Nakuru County and get more details from KTN's Ken Gashohe. Ken, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Grace. Indeed, that is a case that came up today before Principal Magistrate Vincent Okello, where the family had filed for a public inquest in the disappearance of Nakuru fisherman Brian Odhiambo, who went missing in January 18th. And today the Principal Magistrate made a ruling on whether that public inquest application by the family was merited, and actually upheld that indeed it was merited. However, the magistrate did not direct that the inquest proceeds immediately, but rather gave more days to those who have been tasked with conducting investigations. The first order was directed to the Directorate of Criminal Investigations, who have been told to conduct comprehensive investigations. That includes establishing whether the 5 KWS Rangers who have been accused of arresting Brian Odhiambo, whether they were actually together with Brian Odhiambo. Those are the coordinates of their mobile phones to be established, whether they were together and until what point they disappeared or they parted ways, to establish whether Brian Odhiambo actually vanished from their hands or actually he was alongside with them inside the national park. The court also gave directions that the Directorate of Public Prosecution should receive that file from the DCI and also give their recommendations on whether there should be prosecution or not within 21 days after the DCI have given them the file, the investigations file. And that means that within 21 days of receiving the conclusive report from the DCI, the DPP should give or come up with the way forward for this case, which has caused a lot of uproar here in Nakuru County because of the unclear circumstances under which Brian Odhiambo went missing in the hands of those KWS Rangers who had arrested him for the offense of trespassing into the national park. And the Directorate of Criminal Investigations and the DPP have also been directed that they should ensure they involve the family and the other interested parties who had filed the application during the whole process, because the family had claimed that they have not been involved in the whole process. Remember, the family are part of the witnesses who should be giving information that will guide or assist with the DCI in coming up with a way forward as to who actually is culpable on the disappearance of Brian Odhiambo. However, they have claimed that in the past the DCI, the DPP have not been very open with them, and therefore they have no trust that the investigations have been going on in the right direction. And this is a matter that has been attracting public interest, because this is not the first case that is coming up. We have several other cases of people claiming to have been assaulted, especially women claiming to have been raped within the national park. So this is a matter that will also come up within the inquest, whether that is if the court will see it fit to proceed with an inquest. If the court will not have found, or the DCI will not have found that the criminal case against the officers will be proceeding, that means that there are two chances here in this case, whether the criminal case will proceed or the public inquest will proceed. That is within the first 30 days that will be that have been allocated for conclusive investigations by the DCI, and also another 21 days for the DPP to come up with a way forward for this case. And the court has also granted leave to the applicants of this case on whether they should proceed with any further prosecute the matter in other ways within 60 days. That is, if the DPP or the DCI will not have complied with the orders that have been given out today, the family and other interested parties are they are free to proceed with going forward with the matter in court and maybe seeking further orders against the DCI or even the DPP. For now, back to you, Grace.
Right, thank you so much, Ken, for that in-depth analysis as the family seeks justice for their son. The National